In songs, neon signs are symbols of bustling nighttime activity, whether in the life of the city or the life of the bar. Peggy Lee declares, "I'm going out where the neon signs shine down on the avenue." Simon and Garfunkel's eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light. And there's that Petula Clark song.
Downtown, just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalk where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose?
But Day Sign Company, nestled on a quiet side street in the small town of St. Albans, West Virginia, seems a far cry from all of that. James L. Day has been making neon signs by hand for 5 decades, providing custom offerings to businesses across the greater Kanawha Valley. James started this workshop in 1964 when he and his wife, a St. Albans native, moved from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Name's James Day, James L. Day, and I operate Day Sign Company in St. Albans, West Virginia. I'm 85 years old. I still work every day if I can. Sometimes I don't make it all day.
Having always been artistically inclined, James started out as a hand sign painter, but switched to neon as demand increased for the style, teaching himself the trade after observing other neon sign makers. While neon signs are now ubiquitous, most people don't really know what a neon sign is actually made of, or that they're almost all made by hand.
It's a piece of glass, it's bent the way you want it bent, and there's an electrode on each end of it, and filled with gas, and when it's hooked up to a transformer, it'll light up.
James's workshop looks like some mad scientist's den. 3 open flame torches burn at about 800 degrees, providing heat for James to bend the glass into shapes and letters. A manifold with valves and gauges sits in the corner. James uses this to create a vacuum in the glass tubes and pump them with neon or argon gas.
Argon, blue, and this is a neon. The R is a good letter to show how it's made, and the A is not too bad either. So, but that's why I picked those. Yes. Well, first I'll start out with the R. I make the round part of the R first, the round section of it.
Once all the letters are formed, he welds the letters together in the crossfires to connect them into one piece.
It'd be called a unit then. I would take it over and put it on the manifold. Hook it up to the manifold and pump it into it with the vacuum. When it's in a vacuum, it should light up, and then after it lights up, it'll burn the impurities out of it. And after it cools, that means it's sterile and it's ready to gas after it cools off. Yes.
After bombarding the unit with gas, James hooks it up to the transformer. If there are any impurities remaining in the unit, it won't light up. The color of the sign depends on the combination of the gas and the glass.
I could usually make them in a couple hours, counting them, making them, and putting them together, and gas them and blacking them out.
James makes the whole process look easy, but he's constantly making micro adjustments, heating the glass just enough so it will bend without breaking, making sure the letters are formed with the exact angles, and being careful not to overfill the unit with gas, all while trying to avoid injuring himself.
None of them are real easy. Some of them are easier than the other ones. The straight neon, it's the easiest to make. Like if you're going to strip a building with straight neon, I can bend a lot of it. It's easy to make, yes. And but anything that's got a lot of complicated letters in it is kind of hard to work with.
James is one of the few active neon sign makers in the Kanawha Valley. If you have a favorite sign in the area, you can probably bet he's made it.
There's the one at the airport for Tudors and Geno's. And I also have one down, I told you, at Huntington, didn't I? Yeah, Huntington Theater, the airport down there. Susie's Hamburger here in South Charleston. He's a hunting buddy of mine. Here's one I done for my sister's niece. It was their wedding present. I believe it was. A couple of them open signs I've made, several of them. In the Auburn Theater, Sam's Hot Dogs. I've done several of them. Here's a 5-star gentleman's club that don't have a naked woman on it. And Pazios.
And my new home has a flashy neon sign. Stop by and see me anytime.
Like the old blues trope of the musician who performs in juke joints on Saturday night and church on Sunday morning, James has made signs for both bars and churches alike. After all, neon is that beacon in the dead of night indicating life and spirit, whether liquid or holy.
I've done several churches, several strip clubs. I done one with a woman on it. We put up at Parkersburg. It had a neon lady on it, and I was going to paint a picture of a naked lady over here on the church after he got his church built. And my wife said she wanted to pose for me. I said, well, it'd be all right. But he didn't. He just laughed about it.
James didn't end up making a sign of his wife, but he did make one for her, wired into the kitchen lights.
It's says Barb's Kitchen on it, and it's made out of pink neon, which is blue pumped with neon. It's up above the kitchen sink, yes. Mm-hmm.
Through sign making, James has found a community of friends.
I try to make friends wherever if I do something for somebody. I have made some friends over the years. I don't know, a lot of people I work for, I think they are my friends. They, seems to be anyhow.
After over 50 years in the industry, James has noticed changes, but is hopeful about a neon revival.
Mostly everything's going to vinyl lettering, and the neon is going to LEDs. Well, I believe eventually neon will come back. I think it will come back. I think it has in different places. I think they use a lot of it in different parts of the country. Of course, Las Vegas is big on neon. They always have been.
Regardless, he knows his work will live on. If made well, neon signs can last for nearly 100 years.
I've had them in here before they were 75 years old and older than that, still burning. Everybody comes in, I say, if you don't like neon sign, there's something wrong with you. And they'll say, yeah, that's right, yeah. Everybody likes neon.
Despite the decline in demand, James is unequivocal about the universal allure of neon, no matter if you're a churchgoer, a barfly, family, or friend. For the West Virginia Folklife program in Inside Appalachia, I'm Emily Hilliard at Day Sign Company in St. Albans, West Virginia.
And chasing that neon rainbow, living that honky-tonk dream.
You can hear this story and more on the Inside Appalachia podcast. It's available on wvpublic.org or wherever you get your podcasts. That's Inside Appalachia. Get the podcast and you can listen on your own time.